So in the other video, I made a bunch of holes in the plate. Now they actually make a machine that you can spot weld with, but since I don't have that, I punched a bunch of holes in the plate. I'm gonna go back and fill the holes in and permanently met it to the transmission tunnel. So, yep.
We're getting her done. So he's gonna go in here and weld this, and I'm gonna put it on time lapse. I'm also gonna be tearing down the dash, which is up on the forklift forks. So as he's doing that, I'm gonna be doing that. We'll get some work done, see if we can get this dash test fitted in here, see if she'll even fit. From behind the dash, we test fitted the dash and the skin. The skin had to be trimmed down here, and we're going to have to cut out this lower part of the frame, cut out this part and that part and up here. And I think we're going to keep the factory loom in there to keep the rest of the stock wiring harness in the car. Keeps everything somewhat simple. I might have to relocate the distribution box, fuse box, whatever. Gotta put all that stuff somewhere behind the dash or behind the glove box. And yeah, I'll put the ECU probably over there or make a mount to the side by the passenger door. So he's got all that plug welded up top. And gotta make an adjustment to this top Zeus clip, but sits down there like that. Then we gotta make plates that cover this up so we don't have any way for a fire to get into the car. So things are coming along. Last video was really long. I figured this would be part 2 of number 9, episode 9. And yeah, so I'm just sitting here right now chilling. For those that are just, there's the 5.3. It's already been to the machine shop. It's already got cam bearings in it. I need to re-hone the cylinders because they started to rust, so I covered it up as best as I could. And we got the mounts in the car. I am still going to run an engine plate from the front of the motor over to the unibody frame, and then on the back side, I haven't decided if I was going to run a mid plate. If I'm going to run a mid plate, there is no need for these brackets, which are quite heavy, and the mid plates are aluminum. So it just depends. I mean, we're talking about maybe 5 pounds that I would save doing that. We still got to box these corners in over here and kind of box all this in from the back side like I've already explained, and then we'll prime everything. The stock ECU is going to have to be placed probably up here somewhere. Take this out. The reason why I need that is because it also acts as a BCM and keeps everything. It's a canvas car and it needs the PCM to actually communicate with the BCM, even though the only thing that I'll be using off of the stock computer is the crank trigger and crank position sensor. And what that will do is that I'll probably end up having to wire a signal from the ECU, the standalone ECU, to that, and faking a trigger when the car or when the Haltech when the standalone is running, it will send a fake signal to the factory PCM so that the factory instrument cluster will actually not time out. And if that times out, then you lose power steering, you lose, what else? You lose, well, I'm not going to have assisted brakes. We'll explain that later. I will have to do a custom brake and gas pedal setup, accelerator pedal setup. And yeah, I think I'm going to end up putting fender flares on here. And I haven't really talked about this much. And the reason why I might put fender flares on here, and if you follow me on other social media platforms, you know that I had a pair for the front and I never used them. I actually primed them with 2K Eastwood primer, and I never used them. I kind of mocked them up on the front, never even put the fenders back on the car, and ended up parting the EcoBoost out. And I still got those. So the reason being is I think I'm going to stay on a 16-inch rim for now to get the car, down the street, seeing it make a pass or whatnot, see how to do on a 28 by 10 or a 28 by 11.5. We'll see how the car responds to 28-10-5, see what 60 foots we can cut. And if you look real close, you can see that the brake, it's the caliper is like super close to the wheel. It's kind of in a weird angle. I can't really show you, but we're talking like a few millimeters of clearance. So if we end up running this, these stick out quite a bit. The Mustang is about 2 inches wider, and these are already 20 offset. So if it was the EcoBoost rear end, it would have been like right about here. But since there's an extra inch on each side from the rear end, it just pokes 2 inches. I have flares that are actually 3 inches, or they're 3 3/4, I'm pretty sure. And they're custom made fender flares. Nobody else has them on one of these cars. So we'd have to make a seam in the, or have to make a cut in the flare here and here. And Stevie said he's down to do it. Kind of wanted y'all's opinion if I should run flares on it. We can mock it up in the next video. Forgot to bring them out here. And see, it would be riv nutted until I decide I'm going to either paint or wrap the car, which is fine.
Hello.
So he thinks he's fancy. He's got these new sensors for the air ride setup. Laying frame, boy.
That's right.
Actually, you're laying fuel tank. Like, it literally looks like it's laying on the tank.
Kind of.
You probably end up busting a hole in it.
Probably. You can see white now on it.
On the tank?
Yeah.
From the plastic?
Yeah, like it wore through the black part.
You know what you're supposed to do with these? When if you actually read it, it says keep these in a dry area.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to run like a nylon brake hose fitting that actually plugs onto these.
Yeah.
And you need to route them inside the truck so you don't suck up moisture inside of the pumps, and then it'll keep less moisture inside of the tank, so you don't have to drain the tank when it gets super cold out.
Yeah, it came with some. That's the one.
Yeah, you're supposed to do that.
Okay.
You got them all in there?
Yeah, I'm gonna hook them up and test them and make sure they're hooked up right, because some stickers came off and make sure they don't leak. Hopefully they don't leak.
Yeah, you're supposed to let that Teflon or that pipe dope sit for at least 24 hours, but
Yeah.
I think if you wait about an hour or two, it should be alright. It's cold, man. It's not really going to want to dry, but Stevie killed that plate.
What?
He did a really good job on that plate.
We should have done a better job of painting it before we put it in, though.
You could have sent it to get it powder coated, really. That's what you should have did. I want to start anodizing aluminum. Once I start TIG welding aluminum, I want to be able to anodize the parts. So we got the whole top and side panel Zeus clipped in, and the top panel up here is welded in. He's still got to put another Zeus clip down here and weld these in. He was waiting to finish that. So next thing he'll do is weld these side pieces in, it's all secure.
Friends go, it was simple. When the end's low, switch the tempo. When my friends go, it was simple. When the end's low, switch the tempo. I got right, I got heart, I won't die, I'ma fight. I go down, bet I strike. I go hard day and night, yeah. I go hard day and night, 1 to 1, no surprise. See the hate in their eyes. My brothers blood money bleed. I got the game in the squeeze. What would you do for some green? What would you do for some blues? Go pick and choose the family cheese.
So right now, we got me test fitted in the seat, and feet feel pretty good. Hands on the steering wheel feel pretty good. I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you what I'm looking at. This is kind of my field of view. Windshield's really dirty right now, but we got the dash in here, kind of filling out where I'm gonna be at, how high I need to be. And this is about my field of view right here, where I see kind of back here though. It's not too bad. Seat's kind of high up here, but the roll bar, everything, my leg will be pushed in just a little bit, but trans tunnel feels real good. I get to rest my leg down here on it, which I normally drive like that anyways, so that's pretty good. Yeah, so that's what we got going on right now.
Vroom, vroom. What the?